And welcome back to the Paul Holden Details channel. I begin this video with a bit of an ask for you lovely people out there. I want to ask a favour. Please subscribe to not only my channel, but subscribe to Stewie Preston's channel. He's the guy that masterminds all the amazing tracks you listen to in all my videos, the background music, copyright free, so there's no chance of getting any strikes. Amazing guy, very good friend of mine. Go subscribe to his channel. Anyway, that's the shout outs done. On with this video. So this was a Mazda MX-5. It was the second car of the day. Didn't shoot a video on the first car. Should have done really, but the car had to go out fairly quick. Customers picking it up in the afternoon. So this was the second car. This is a clear coated car. This was in for a Decon and a machine enhancement polish. Plus with some protection on it, some wax. And that's it, quite simple. But I do have this in my hand, and this is the fallout remover. This is called Iron Brew, pre-release version this, from the Detail Kitchen. I'll put a link where you can get it from underneath. Why is it called Iron Brew? Because when you spray it, it's supposed to smell like Iron Brew. Does it smell like Iron Brew? I'll let you know during the course of the video. Because as we know, fallout removers absolutely stink. They're horrible, smell of rotten eggs. Anyway, enough about rotten eggs and Iron Brew. I blame Specky McSporran for that. Anyway, go and check the podcast out because we're back on. Look us up on Spotify. Specky and Paul Talk Detailing. I've got to get it in because he tells me off. Right, go and grab some, I think you might need a coffee or tea or something warm because that's it. 2 days of summer and we're done. Or was it 3 days? We might have had a heat wave, I'm not too sure. If it's a heat wave, it's definitely going into 3 days. Get your cocoa, get your coffee, get your tea, get your bickies, and roll the video. Whew. So here we go then. Rim mats in place to protect our wheels, our knuckles, but mainly the car in general from stones from flying up when we attack it with the new pressure washer. Hand-painted rims? Really? I know, it looks pretty good, doesn't it? Well, let's have a closer look. Bit of swirlage going on here. And I'm sure we can get that paint to look a lot better than it actually does. A bit more glossy, a bit more clarification. Clarification? That's a long word. And that is a spider's doo-doo. Yeah, spider's poo. That's what it does. It leaves white marks everywhere. So this is the Iron Brew fallout remover. Be using that on the rims, but not just yet. I'll just introduce you to the new pressure washer. This is the Ava Master P80 limited edition. It's a bit of a weapon, this. Don't worry, there will be a full review coming up pretty soon. And that is a 60-degree nozzle, believe it or not. First chemical is Bill Hamber Surfex HD in the pump sprayer. Be a bit wary using this with your dilution rates. Now Paul mixed this up. He thought he'd mixed it up nice and weak. However, it is strong. How strong? Well, we used it on a car in the morning and it can cause a little bit of streaking. When I first used it many years ago, it has a habit of leaving horrible black marks where it attacks the rubber on your car, so be very careful how you mix your dilution rates up. So as well as using it on the arch, I'm going to use it on the rim itself. It is a all-purpose cleaner after all, before we use the fallout remover. Those of you who are new to detailing, new to car care, valeting, detailing, that is an easy brush, or EZ brush if you like. They're not the cheapest, but they are very, very good and they're chemical resistant. The same as this is a Garage Therapy detailing brush, chemical resistant again. Don't buy cheap brushes. I've mentioned this so many times in my videos. They're not worth it. They just fall apart and you're just wasting your cash. Fallout remover next. The gel-like formula, a little bit gloopy out the trigger spray. Make sure you get it right into the rims, into the barrels. And just going to allow this to dwell until we see the colour change. So the initial reaction, it's not that dramatic. I'll talk about the actual time it takes for this stuff to work later on at the end of the video. So the great thing about doing a car between you is Paul is doing the same on the other side. We just get swapping the pressure washer over and chucking in the stubby gun. Yeah, just be wary when you do that, and you've got cameras on the other side. Not a good idea, Paul. So moving on to my favourite part, and this is the pre-wash or pre-wash, because this is in two stages. The first one being built handler touchless snow foam. This is 20 ml to 1 litre of water. If you feel it's not doing anything, then just up the dilution rate. You're still not going to use that much of this chemical. So the idea of doing this on the lower parts will start breaking down the grime. And we're going to seal it in with the same chemical, but we're going to use the lance. Although the panel temperatures are not exactly warm, the air temperature is quite warm. It's about 21, 22 degrees when we did this. The dilution rate for this in the lance is 200 ml to 800 to 850 ml of water, producing a half decent foam. And all the time it's still working underneath. We just sealed it in. You get a bit more of a dwell time. Thank God for that, I thought he'd missed it. So once you've done this, you start to see the foam break down as it's dripping down the sides of the panel. You can then pressure washer it off, or in my case, up. As you can see, there is no protection on this car. Nil. I'm still wearing my best shorts. I can't believe it. Dodo Juicy's Born to be Mild shampoo now. Good for hard water areas. Glug some of this in your lance. So while Paul does the fiddly bits, and notice he's doing this at the shampoo stage, not the pre-wash stage, which I've seen done in quite a few videos. Don't do it then. Handy having Timberlands on the end of my tootsies, making me just under 6'5". 6'4.5" in my Crocs, apparently. And if you want to know where the boot release is on a Mazda MX-5, it's next to the handbrake in a little cubby hole. Why would you want to know that? You might want to get in the boot. Come back to those exhaust tips later on. So while I'll have a quick sandwich and a cookie, Paul can get on with the rinsing. I don't get paid for me lunch, you know. I'm not that keen on white wheels, but there's something about this car, white wheels with that red paintwork, I think it looks quite cool. It's a personal taste, personal preference. Could have been worse, it could have been pink. Next up is a built hammer fallout remover. Decided to switch to fallout remover and chuck on some built hammer. So this is hopefully going to bleed out anything on the panels. Well, it didn't, even after we washed it in. So there can't be a lot of fallout on this clear coat. Yes, you can wash it in. I learnt this from Terry, my fellow detailing mate, who does this a lot. So once this was done, it was down to another rinse-a-roo. Me just about to block Paul's shot with his phone on his tripod. Nice one, Paul. So selfish. It's like I was actually trying to knock his tripod over. I think somebody left the boot open. So after a bit of a drying stage, no need for clay bar with this. Actually touched the panels, we went around the car, no need to clay it. Can of course did a detail session. So this is the product we're going to be using, or one of the products, believe it or not. Several different compounds are used on this car, but I'm only going to show you this one. So this is a one-step. This should clear up most of the defects and improve the clarity, and we should get a nice glossy finish with this. There's no chalky residue with this, you haven't got to worry about masking up. Just do small sets and then clean your pad out and then go again. And of course at the end you're going to have to IPA wipe down this. You're going to put wax on it or anything like a sealant. One thing I like about machine polishing is you get that gloss and you can remove the scratches, and it just puts a smile on my face. I didn't say that right at the end when I was doing the bumper, laying underneath it. So certain areas you cannot get with the Bigfoot. So I've got my nano polisher. Well, fake nano. The Rupes one is bucks. So this is the wax. This is called epoxy. You can apply this by hand or machine to allow it to cure for a good 20 minutes. So while Paul was waxing the car, I got to grips with these. The rather snazzy exhaust system this has on it. So this is 4-0 wire wool. It's not actually a metal polish, it's just compound. One of 3D Car Care's compounds. Before you do this, make sure you remove all the tar spots with a tar spot remover. Tar and glue you want. So after this wax has been given a good 20 minutes, I drank copious bottles of water and had another sandwich. The end was nearly in sight. This is Monster Shine Aqua Gloss. Their tyre dressing. Yeah, that is an old scrub-a-dubber, believe it or not. Thanks to Paul. Once the tyres were dressed, we were done. Feast your eyes on this lot, and I'll meet you back in my lounge, not the Pratt Cave. And just wait for the dustman to go. They're not my empties. And there it goes. Right, let's talk about the fallout remover on the Mazda MX-5. This is the Iron Brew from Detail Kitchen. Does it smell like Iron Brew? You're all going to be asking me this. Yes, it does. It does smell like Iron Brew. But it works in a way that when you atomize the product, i.e. spray it on the vehicle, on the wheels, on the panels, that's when you'll get the smell. Now, it's not going to be to everyone's cup of tea. They might not like Iron Brew. I don't like Iron Brew personally, but this is better than smelling rotten eggs, and you have to kind of weigh that up. Is it the fastest reacting fallout remover? No, it's not. I didn't find that on the day. What I felt was, once you did it and you then worked it into the wheel with your wash media, your EZ brushes, whatever you're using, you kind of got a second wind. Because I rinsed it off, and then where it was must have been behind the brake calipers, I then got it bleeding out again around the back of the spokes. So it does dwell for a long time. Give this a good 10 minutes at least. You know, let it just sit on the panels, providing they're not hot, or on the rims, and you'll get a decent reaction. So that's what I've found with that. Put a link where you can get that underneath the video as ever. Not too much to discuss about any other products apart from this and this. These are from 3D Car Care. This is Speed. This is their one-step correction glaze. So it's probably got some fillers in there somewhere along the line. It does actually correct quite well, to be honest with you. Key scratches around the door handles, I managed to get rid of those. It is kind of like pad dependent, like most of these products. They do this one as well. This is the one. This is the cutting compound, finishing compound. We did actually use this on the day. Just can't remember where. I think it was on the bumpers. Plastics are always different, and on the front bumper we ended up stepping it up again, which I don't have on me because it's on Paul's van. But overall, this is very, very good. IPA wipe down, and then coat it in this, which is the Montan. This is the epoxy wax, and I've used this before. You could apply this by hand or machine with a soft pad. Go over a low speed, spread the product, but give it a good 20 minutes, and just be careful of the sun. So that was the Mazda MX-5 video done. Next video up will be the Ava Master P80 limited edition full review. Okay, that's coming up fairly soon. Famous last words. Anyway, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done. Thanks for watching. Get involved in the comments section. Make sure you check out the Instagram and make sure you check out Spec Paul Talk Detailing. You can Google it to find your best platform, but we are available on Spotify for Spec Paul Talk Detailing. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.